this is that part in my life, which has been awesome with my relationship with Jesus, to know this is what I'm for.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello and welcome to our GiveSendGo Spotlight, where we find campaigns that are doing good in the world, that are shining brightly, that are making a difference. And today we have someone on that I know you're going to want to hear from. Her name is Melissa Leavitt, and she has a campaign on GiveSendGo, and I'm going to let her tell us a little bit about that. So welcome, Melissa.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
So I know you have a campaign on GiveSendGo. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
We do. So I recently requested a full statewide hand recount of the Value Them Both constitutional amendment in our state that was voted on August 2nd, and it was an abortion amendment. So I am actually an election integrity researcher, and I've been doing this for a long time. And we've just been struggling in Kansas to gain some headway and clarity. And we saw a bunch of things kind of go on during the primary, and we had a county that actually found out that through our audit process that their machines were flipping votes and would have totally ruined a race for someone. And once that kind of came to light, it was that one moment in time that it's like God sent us that message that here you go. Here's that one thing for you. It is happening, right? So we just are trying to verify that everything was good. But when you're talking about voting, it's vital that everything is fair and free and it's correct. And so this is kind of a point where we can dig in, and it's our right to ask for it. But they give you only 5 days to request it, which also means in turn, we don't have time allotted to do research and make this decision with any data under our belts. And they really don't allow us any open records to even get that, any information. And so as a constituent of the state, it's our right to do this. And I just felt called. I had some conversations with some people, and they were interested. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And I just was like, I'm just going to go where I know is safe and good, and GiveSendGo. And I got on the platform and I started it. And then it's been a leap of faith since. And we've been in a lot of prayer, and so far we're getting closer to our goal. And it's just been an awesome experience so far, except for a few things. But otherwise, we got the count, and it wasn't for the whole 105 counties. We were only able to pick 9, but it represents 60% of the entire vote for the state with just 9 counties.
Wow.
So that's pretty significant amount of data we can get as far as how things are actually going. And so, we're just rolling through it right now. We've got a couple counties that finished, and our biggest, largest counties are still in the process.
You have this friend. They're going through a hard time and you want to help them, but you don't know how or where to start. When you see a need, step in with GiveSendGo. GiveSendGo is a safe, trusted, and reliable crowdfunding platform designed to help you help others. With a few clicks of a button, you can set up a campaign for the person you want to support. Come to GiveSendGo.com and set up your campaign. Then, share it with the people closest to you and watch the funds and prayers start flooding in. That's www.givesendgo.com.
Yeah, you started this campaign. It's at $52,000 right at this moment. And so these funds are being used to what? What are the funds being used for?
It's paying for the bond. So we had to pay $120,000 to get the recount. And so we're not quite at the goal yet. So by Saturday, or they're supposed to finish counting on Saturday. So we need to meet the goal by Saturday.
All right. And so how long have you been in this world of making sure voting is safe and fair?
Well, it kind of started in 2021. I mean, it's been fast and furious, and that's really when a lot more data was coming out. You had a lot of people across the nation that have been working on it, and so once I started to get ground and find better resources, is really when it got prevalent in my life, and I realized that God had given me some gifts and wanted me to pursue this. I mean, as much as sometimes it gets frustrating, I can't walk away from it. And so I'm aware that this is that part in my life which has been awesome with my relationship with Jesus, to know this is what I'm for, and I think we all go through that in our lives where we're kind of like, well, what's my purpose? And such a time as this is definitely my purpose, and it's been an amazing experience, and it's also really trying on the spirit, because you get attacks, and you just keep going, but it's really been awesome in that respect for me.
It is. It's so cool how God pretty much, and like you just said, he ordains us for a time that we don't even know is coming, right? And we're like walking along, doing our thing, being faithful in whatever he's given us. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, this is why he had me here at this time, right? Like, and we saw that with GiveSendGo when we started GiveSendGo. Same thing. We started 8 years ago, not knowing that today there would not be a platform for people to raise funds on the conservative side if GiveSendGo wasn't here. And to know that that's why God created us, it's really humbling to be a part. And I can hear that in you too, going, okay, wow, it's humbling to be being used in such a big way in the world today. And so I see that you're really good about posting updates and things. People, if you want to go to this campaign and take a look, read what's going on, you can go to givesendgo.com/G, the number 3, NJF. And it will be across the bottom of the screen as well. But I recommend coming, reading what's going on. If you want to be a part of this, you can give, you can share what's happening, and you can pray. Have you gotten any prayer messages? I know that's one of people say a lot of times that they love that they can go on and actually read encouragements from people who are like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, even if you're feeling alone or like an uphill battle right now, there are people behind you. Have you had any of that happen with you?
I haven't really seen much of that. People seem to be just leaving them with their donations primarily, but that's the awesome feature that I can say about your platform, because prayer is really where we're trying to focus everything, and that is the one thing we are requesting above all else is prayer at this time. So, but most people seem motivated to add that in with their donations, and those have been awesome to see and look at, and it's just been really humbling, and I'm very grateful for that.
I don't even know. I can see that on your campaign that it says like 500 and something people have clicked the pray now button. There might be that you just maybe haven't seen it yet, but if you go into your dashboard, there's a mailbox and there might be some prayer messages in there. So I would take a look when you have a chance, because when they click pray now, it asks them if they want to leave a message. And I wouldn't be surprised if some people have left you private messages and it would be found in your mailbox. We have a team at GiveSendGo that we believe in prayer so much that and sharing hope with people. We actually have a team that calls campaigns and prays with them. Have you received a prayer call yet or not yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay. So, well, just to let you know, it'll be coming from a 302 number, and it will be one of our prayer partners, and they will say, hey, I'm just with GiveSendGo and I'm here. Can I be praying with you? And what can I be praying for? Because we understand that as much as money can do the things we're doing, it's
Right.
not the ultimate. The ultimate is sharing hope with people. The ultimate, even more than elections and fair voting, we want people to understand there's a hope that's given through Jesus, right?
Right. Yes.
So what has been, so fundraising obviously is probably one of the biggest hurdles. Is there any other hurdles that you have faced while trying to get this going?
Well, obviously the spiritual attacks and that's coming from different places. The media is definitely a big hurdle. I do have a TikTok and I haven't really spoken to the media much because they twist words or they cut out things and um, you know, basically I don't want to be distracted from my focus on Jesus and keeping my spirit well. But they are definitely bringing that to the table now. So if anyone could pray for the binding of the spiritual attacks, because they are trying, the media, I believe, is actually trying to weaponize our government against us. They have started to want to find out information and use our government to come after us and make us comply with things that don't really seem right at this time. So it's a lot of pressure, and then on top of that, like there's people that are just very angry and they send a lot of hateful messages and so I try not to look at those things and I just kind of it's difficult. It's difficult to stay focused and the team of people here in Kansas and that are supporting us, we're working really hard on a bunch of things. This is a major deal and we just really want to be involved in helping to save our country because we feel like our elections are what's going to keep our government honest and in check and we want to make sure that we're doing the proper things that really bind us with the rest of the country as well in that effort, because we don't want to be left out of that, and right now we've gained national attention. So that's kind of awesome because everyone calls us the flyover state, but there's God's grace here is very strong in Kansas. And so we know what we have. And so we're bringing in that warrior spirit to the table and we're really going to push hard.
Which is awesome. And I can tell you on the GiveSendGo side, we also get hate from a lot of our campaigns, right? So people write into GiveSendGo, how dare you allow this? They're fraudulent, they're scamming people, whatever the accusations are. And our team just knows to respond in grace to people who might disagree with some of the things that we allow on GiveSendGo, because we don't even agree with everything that comes on our platform. But that is what freedom is, right? It's allowing things that I'm not arrogant enough to think that everything I believe is what everybody should believe. Like I might be wrong in some of my preconceived thoughts that I have, right? And I know that. And so we use GiveSendGo as a platform for people, for freedom, for hope, so that people can come on and have a voice. And we see that hate coming through as well, that the complaints about campaigns. And we just say, you know what, we'll look into it, make sure that there isn't like legitimate fraud going on. But we do stand for freedom. And I can tell you, I logged in just because I was now curious and I went to your mailbox and you have 123 prayer messages that people actually wrote you in there. So when you go in, when you have a minute or when you're feeling down, you might want to save it for that day where you're like, I need a little encouragement. You can go in and you can see that there are lots of messages that you can just click on and read that people have sent you to encourage you in the battle that you are facing. What else? Is there any, we're going to wrap this up, but is there anything else that you want people to know that are watching this that might not have even had any idea of what was going on in Kansas? All of us are in our states and might be involved in what's going on, and they might not even know what's going on in Kansas, despite it happening all over the place. Is there any last minute or last things that you would like to tell people so that people can be made aware?
Right. Here's the thing. I am grateful for folks like you who are giving us an opportunity to speak. Because like I said, the media has been a really big hurdle for us. And it's unfortunate that we kind of have to go to a place where we have to spend money like this. And to the points where we need to ask for donations, but realistically, we've just been fighting this battle. And, at the same time, I think it is national, and the abortion amendment and things like that are so pivotal and in people's emotions. And so we just want to make sure everything's good and great. And you know, I don't think any state is without its issues, but at the same time, we must have those checks and balances. And so this is part of that process, and we're gonna get some more data out of it. And I just want to encourage everybody too that might be feeling down, because I have those days. I have those moments a lot, you know, and so I'm pretty excited. Y'all have the prayers waiting for me because I'm gonna need them. And but someone who just has passion and a good heart can do it and move mountains. And it only takes a mustard seed, right? So you just live by that and don't forget it. So that's where we are. And I just want to encourage anyone who has anything that they're fighting for to never give up, because God has you.
Hello?
Hi, this is Claire. I'm a GiveSendGo prayer partner, and I just called to see how I could be praying for you.
Did you know GiveSendGo has a team of prayer partners solely dedicated to calling each and every campaign owner on our site to pray for them and their endeavors? That's because here at GiveSendGo, we believe that prayer changes things.
Well, thank you so much. I needed to hear that today.
We could all use a little hope.
To receive a call from one of our prayer partners, go to www.givesendgo.com to start your campaign today.
And that is great words to leave us with, that don't give up. Like if you're in a battle, battles aren't easy. That's why they're called a battle. And so it takes time, it takes energy, it takes those bad days, it takes pressing through. And one of the things about GiveSendGo is that you can see the army of people that are coming alongside of you. It's not just one person going, hey, I'll hand you $120,000, which would be nice. Now, don't get me wrong. But there is also something great about hundreds and thousands of people coming together to fill a need. And that's really what it's about. It's about building community, and not even one side of the aisle or not. We all want fair elections, no matter who, you know. It's just, the more data that can come out, the better we are. There's nothing, getting more information will never be detrimental. It will only be helpful, no matter what you found. If you do all this and find, wait, it actually was the other side or whatever. It's just, we want the facts, right? And it takes people like you with the guts to say, I'm going to go beyond my means financially, go beyond all of these things that I might even feel comfortable with. And I'm going to demand that we're going to take another look at this so that we can find out more information, so that we can make sure we're having fair elections, so that we can keep the United States the great country that we've all known and loved for our lifetime, for our children and our children's children, because that's really, elections are what make our country great, the way we have historically been able to run our country. And so thank you for doing your part in saying, I want to continue making and keeping America great.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
So thank you for your step in the fight. And that is why we do these spotlights, because stuck in my little corner of Maryland, I can see all these campaigns come across GiveSendGo, but it's so exciting to actually engage with people who are stepping out in their communities and their battlefield that God puts in front of them, and they're making a difference. So thank you, Melissa, for stepping out, being obedient. If you want to donate, give, pray, share her campaign, all of those are equally as important with each other. She needs the money, but she needs people sharing this. So there's awareness. And then she also needs the prayers. So go on to GiveSendGo.com / and let me actually, I don't have it in front of me, G3NJF, and it will be on the screen as well. Visit this campaign. Let Melissa know you're praying for them. Give if you can. It takes everybody doing a little bit to make a big difference in this world. So thank you again, Melissa.
Thank you.
Touch. Let us know how it goes. We're really excited. I know you have a deadline here. So one way or the other, we will know by the beginning of next week. So thank you again, and have a blessed rest of your week.
Can I add one thing?
Sure, absolutely.
Can I ask that people pray for our county clerks and the volunteers as well?
Absolutely.
I know this is a struggle for them, and I don't want it to just be but we want to extend those prayers to those people who are helping.
And just to let you know that, again, if you log into GiveSendGo and click on your little campaign and go to the campaign dashboard under, I think it's called Manage Campaign. You might have to poke around a little bit, but I think it's under Manage Campaign. There's a place that says prayer requests, and you can actually add those prayer requests, and then people will see them when they come to your page, so that people can know some specific things you might want people to be praying for. So again, thanks for using GiveSendGo. Thanks for
You're
what
welcome.
you're doing. We will be praying for you in your battle here. And
you.
again, let us know how it goes. We look forward to hearing how God continues to use you, even after this situation, because he has a lot more.
Amen.
So have a wonderful day. Thank you.